Hey everyone, it's FinalRound and my name is Jordan. And Wolf Wilson asked me when my Squirtle is going to evolve. If I ever hit 50,000 subscribers, Squirtle will evolve into a War Turtle. And this video is for WNBA for Thursday. We have 4 different games and I have 5 different picks for you. I'm filming this during the NBA draft. I took a look at the mock draft and the first 5 picks. And I have no idea who most of them are. And watch, one of these guys is going to be the face of the NBA. But anyway, I'm going to hop into these WNBA picks. You will see images that come up on the screen. Those will be from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description that'll give you a 7-day free trial for Outlier. And this first pick is going to be Bridget Carlton of Minnesota over 10.5 points at -114. She exploded in the Commissioner's Cup. She shot 6 for 8 from the 3-point line. Obviously, she's not going to do that again, but her minutes have been increasing over the season, and now she's averaging 32.5 minutes over the last 5 games. And before June 5th, she only played 1 game over 30 minutes, but you'll see at June 5th, she started to go over this line and she started to score, and she went over this in 6 out of the last 8 games since she started playing 30 plus minutes. So she's a very good 3-point shooter, averaging 6 3-point attempts a game. She's shooting 62% from 3. With this line at 10.5, obviously we need her to maybe knock down a few of them and get some 2-point baskets. She's playing against Dallas, who gives up the most points over the past 2 weeks and the highest 3-point percentage. When I see the highest 3-point percentage, I assume that the other teams are getting good looks. I know teams can miss off of good looks, especially in the WNBA. But with the way she's shooting, if she gets those opportunities, hopefully she can stick around at least 50%. 62% is a lot to ask for, but that's just what she's been doing. So it's a great matchup here for Bridget Carlton of the Minnesota Lynx. And this next pick is going to be Juwel Lloyd of Seattle, over 3.5 assists at -120. She's gone over in 7 out of the last 10 games. And an Outlier likes to give little insights. She's gone over in 7 out of the last 8 games versus the bottom 5 defenses versus assist. The Fever over the last 2 weeks are giving up the 3rd most assist. And as I mentioned in a previous video, Juwel Lloyd has one of the highest usages in the WNBA. She's up there. I think it was like the 3rd highest. So she has the ball in her hands a lot. She likes to score a lot as well. Asking for 4 assists for someone who has the ball in their hands for a lot of the game. And with a high hit rate for -120, I do like this play. In both games versus the Fever this year, she had 6 assists in each game. So a good matchup here for Juwel Lloyd. If you guys could, please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, please leave a comment for the algorithm. And I also want to shout out my partners, Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, and ChalkBoard. Use promo code FinalRound11 on any of these. If you'd like to try out a new app, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Thank you to anyone who uses those. This next pick is going to be Elena Smith, over 4.5 rebounds at -130. Dallas is giving up the 5th most rebounds over the past 2 weeks. And the reason why I'm going with the past 2 weeks is, we're kind of deeper into the season. I'm going with full season rankings as starting to become a little bit more relevant because teams have changed over the course of the season. So I was going with the month of June, but now the past 2 weeks gives us about like a 5 or 6 game span for teams. So Napheesa Collier, her teammate, hasn't been rebounding as well, and she has really stepped up her rebounding, going over this line by a lot in 4 out of the last 5 games. And she played them very recently on June 17th and had 9 rebounds against them. So Minnesota has become one of the best defenses in the WNBA, so they're going to force missed shots. Elena Smith hopefully can keep up this rebounding streak and get us at least 5. In this next pick, everyone's favorite, Caitlyn Clark of the Indiana Fever, Over 6.5 assists at -125. Last time she played, I said that assist line is just one too high. If it was at 5.5, it would look great across the board. So if you want to just knock it down on an alt line to 5.5, it looks really great on the stats. On Outlier, a lot of green pops up. But it's been very different for Caitlyn Clark. She went from being this player at Iowa who just was the main player and took a ton of shots. And she did get a lot of assists there at Iowa, but now she's over here in the WNBA, and she seems to kind of be a little bit more passive, and she's kind of looked a little off to start off the season. But recently, she started to find some team chemistry with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, and racking up those assists. She's becoming a very willing passer and finding her teammates for easy layups. And if you look at Aaliyah Boston, she's kind of been unleashed because of Caitlyn Clark. So she's playing against Seattle, who's giving up the 6th most assists over the past 2 weeks. And the Fever are actually scoring the 3rd most points over the past 2 weeks. So the offense is starting to click completely for the Indiana Fever. And she had 13 assists in that game against Chicago. I know it was a big televised game, and she was on the court the entire time, but there was a lot of potential assists there that I saw that could have made this even bigger assist game. She's a very, very, very good passer. When it comes to like outlet passes, if you watch that game, she would throw the ball down the court, and some of these girls, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 different times, they just couldn't catch it. It was like a NFL quarterback throwing to a 4th grader. They just weren't able to catch it. But if they can figure that out, this is potentially a 16 assist game for Caitlyn Clark. So still more things to work on for the Fever, but her assists have gone up. And against Seattle both times this year, this was a little bit earlier in the year in May. She went over against Seattle in both games. Now she plays against Seattle again, feeling a little bit more confident in her teammates, and hopefully her teammates can start catching some of these passes, because she makes some really good passes and like bullet passes sometimes, and they just can't handle it. And then this last pick, I'm going to go with Kennedy Carter of the Chicago Sky over 15.5 points at -140. Now, Kennedy Carter, I know she has a hot temper, and it's people have talked about it a lot because she's been in the news and everything. But take all that away, she can ball, she can score. She was hitting that mid-range kind of on the short corner almost over and over and over again, finding that space and scoring. And she's gone over this in 7 out of the last 9 games. Those 2 games that she didn't go over, she played like 15 minutes. So I filtered with Outlier to her regular minutes that she's been playing. Over the last 4 games, she's averaging about 27.5 minutes. So if you look at her games with 26 plus minutes, and if she gets this against the Aces, she has gone over this in 100% of games this year. The Aces are giving up the 4th most points to teams. If she gets 26 plus minutes, that puts her in that range where she's hitting 100%. So really like this line for Kennedy Carter. It was at 16.5. It did get bumped down. It probably will get bumped back up. But for now, I like Kennedy Carter over 15.5 points. And if you guys would like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. It's free. It's not one of those ones you have to pay a ton of money for. It's a community where everyone gives their opinion and gives their picks. There are people in there like Wolf Wilson, who gives his WNBA picks, who was giving WNBA picks last year and doing really well with them. He has his own little section for that because he has his own channel. Check out Wolf Wilson Props, Wolf Wilson TV, 2 separate channels. And then there's people in the WNBA section who just really know what they're talking about, and they've been betting on WNBA before it was super popular. I bet a little bit last year, getting more into it this year, learning the players. These guys were doing it all last year. And now into this season, and they're doing well. And we've seen some really green days there in the Discords, because guys, these premiums that you see out there and you pay for, they don't have any they don't have access to any special information that we don't have access to. That's free. So you're basically going to get the same picks, if not better ones, than you would if you paid for it. So just check it out. It's free. People say it's better than any premium that they have tried. And speaking of why I don't charge for picks, let's go over my last game. So I had Sunday, I went 5-0, and then this is WNBA. Things just turn around quickly, and I would feel awful if you were paying for this. Breanna Stewart over 3.5 assists. She ended up with 3 assists, and this was just tough to watch because I don't know how many times she brought the ball up the court. I don't know how many times there was a potential assist, and they just missed. But in the first quarter, she had 2, and this looked like it was going to be easy money. Did not happen. Sabrina Ionescu over 2.5 3-pointers made. I was saying she was taking around 11 a game, and I like that volume, and I like the way she was shooting, and we should see around 11 or 10 or 11 3-point attempts. She shot 11. She made 2 of them. She made 2 of them in the first half, and she went absolutely cold in the second half. It was awful to watch. She was airballing threes like badly. There were so many air balls from other players too. Like, it was just bad. Like, I don't know how you missed that badly. But anyway, there was some times where Breanna Stewart passed it over to her, and I was like, if she hits this, it's going to catch both of them at once and just brick. So Sabrina was just trying to build up a brick house to save herself from that big bad wolf. And then Nafisa Collier over 8.5 rebounds. Looked good at first. She had like 4 in the first quarter, and then she ended up with 6. So it was an 0-3 day. So it went from 5-0 to an 0-3. And that's why I'm not going to charge you for picks. I would feel awful. But I gave you 5 picks for Thursday. If you'd like to fade me, you can. Good luck with that. So God bless you all. It's final round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.